listening to the Talking Shrimpers podcast, sponsored by Surgical Holdings.
Good evening and welcome to the Talking Shrimpers podcast. I am your host for the next couple of weeks, so buckle up. My name's Charlie, and with me today we have Emily and Finn. Coming up, we have reaction from Southend's 1-0 win against Sutton United, the Truro postponement. We'll be speaking to Emily on Southend Ladies' upcoming fixture, to Toby on Sunday. We'll also discuss the youth team and their FA Cup game against Wrexham coming up at the end of the month. We've also got Finn's New Year quiz, and we'll also look ahead to Bath City in this weekend's FA Trophy. So plenty to get into. First of all, we'll just get some reactions and check in with our hosts. So let's start with you, Emily. We haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. So how was your Christmas and New Year?
Yeah, it was lovely, thank you. Nice and chilled. Just spent time with my partner, just seeing my family and stuff. So yeah, still got a couple of younger siblings, so it's all still magical. But yeah, really nice and chilled.
Yeah, we had Kev's family on last week, and obviously he was talking about his boys are up at like crack of dawn, all excited and stuff like that. So he was the same, was he? Yeah.
5:30. Yeah, that's quite good going for us, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say not too bad, but yeah, no, it's all nice, isn't it? While it's still magical and stuff for them. So when you back to work? Are you back this week?
Back today. Went back today. Yeah. So.
Oh, did you? Was it inset day? All the kids back as well?
Nah, kids were back, so it's quite hard for us, obviously, teaching when the weather's like this. So.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, there's no outside activities or anything.
No, yeah, straight back in. So yeah. All good. Excellent.
Well, happy to have you on board today. So we need as many as we can, being my my first shift as a host. And Finn, how about you? How's your week been?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Not bad. Obviously, sad that the Truro game was called off. We'll get onto that a little bit later. I still managed to get to some football because my dad was already in Southend, and obviously from Kent, we thought it's a bit of a shame to just go back home. So we went to go and see Malden and Tiptree play against Tilbury. At Tilbury, it was 3-1 Malden and Tiptree. So yeah, it was a good game, good bit of football, non-league football, nice. I was quite a few ex-shrimpers as well. So there was Mikey Faulkner who scored a goal and got an assist as well. He played well. Terrell Egbury, who I know quite well, so it was good to see him. But yeah, it's quite fun. It was the coldest game I've ever been to. I was just so cold. Literally we stood up because we actually managed to get a seat, and we stood up and my legs were just agony. I was like so cold, but yeah, good bit of good to see some football at least.
Had you already made the trip to the game for Southend, had you then?
Yes, I was already in Southend because I was staying at my girlfriend's for the night, but my dad had come up for the game. He was going to meet me obviously at Roots Hall. But he was already quite close to Southend anyway, so we just I thought, let me look at what games are in the local area, and I saw that it was Tilbury versus Malden, so I thought, why not? It was good bit of football. I definitely recommend anybody to go and see.
Did they play an artificial pitch then?
No, I think it was actually a real pitch. Most of the pitches at the level are artificial, but I think Tilbury's was actually real. It looked real. So, but yeah, they must have just done a good job to get their game ahead. And yeah, it was freezing, but I would recommend anybody going to see Malden play in particular because they have some good players, and Tilbury actually as well.
Yeah, they're certainly well documented, aren't they? You know, there's some money put in behind them and things now. So watch this space with them. Obviously my weekend, to be fair, I was working, so I was actually quite happy the Truro game didn't go ahead because it means I might be able to make the rearranged fixture. But yeah, I was at work, so I was out in the elements. It was bitterly cold, so I can only imagine what it was like being on the touchline. Not too pleasant. So plenty of layers and that. Just hoping this weekend's game goes ahead. So we'll see. Keep an eye on the weather forecast and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I've just been. I don't know if you guys are into the darts at all. I've been watching the darts. I'm quite a big darts fan, and I've been hooked all this World Championship. And I was a little bit disappointed with the final. I thought it was going to be a bit closer than it was. But he's something else.
Yeah, I was as well. It's a World Championship final. You expect a bit of a better game.
The way it started, I
7-1 in the end.
Yeah.
He always does that. He always does that though. He always drops first set, doesn't he? Almost kind of kicks him into gear a little bit.
And then he's unstoppable, isn't he?
He's just unbelievable. My outlandish kind of take is that he'll be better than Phil Taylor ever was.
Yeah. Well, I was talking at work about this. obviously he's he's got plenty of years ahead of him still, isn't he? It's remarkable. He's only 18 and what he's achieved already, and he just looks like there's nobody that's coming near him at the moment. So yeah, if anyone can beat Taylor's titles, it's going to be him. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed that it wasn't more of a final made of it, but it just shows his class and his quality, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about darts. We're here to talk about Southend. So we'll dive straight in. We'll talk about the Sutton game, which feels like an age away now, which was a couple of weeks ago at home. A 1-0 win. Finn, did you get to the game at all?
Yep, yeah, I did, yeah. And it's funny you say that, because I was thinking, before the game, before the podcast, sorry, I had to make a few notes, to be honest. I don't normally, but because I've just kind of forgotten what happened in the game, because it does feel like quite a long time ago, probably because of the postponement. But yeah, managed to get to the game, and I think, to be honest, if you could sum it up in a few words, probably just job done. A good solid win. There's yeah, definitely positives to pick from it as well, which I'm sure we'll get into. But yeah, a pretty good win.
Yeah, Emily, did you go to the game? Did you see it at all?
No, I was catching up with the result though. I saw obviously I haven't been on for a few weeks, so I haven't really spoken much about the fact that Harry Cardwell's back. So it's obviously nice to see him up and involved again, straight back in. So yeah, win, job done. 3 points on the board, move forward.
Yeah, I mean, Sutton, I think they had a bit. We were discussing before their form was a little bit up and down, and I think they'd gone. I think in the form guide they're actually not doing too badly. So I think it wasn't going to be a walkover by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously the 1-0, the one goal did it for us. A penalty, which again we're not doing too well converting them directly. We're doing all right with the follow ups, but it's what's that? Is that our third penalty we've missed this season? I think it might be, Finn.
Yeah, I think it's definitely 2. There might be a third, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, the icing on the cake is that we get the rebounds and we do convert from them following the follow-up. But obviously, Harry Cardwell stepped up to take it. Was you surprised by that, or did you kind of expect him to take it? Obviously, Kendall was on the pitch as well.
Yeah, I mean, I probably did. Out of the players on the pitch, I probably did expect Cardwell to take it. I'm always a bit of a fan of, I guess not in this case, but normally I'm a fan of letting your striker take it, because I think who needs the goals the most on the pitch is probably the striker to give him confidence. So I think it's good letting the striker take it. Yeah, I mean, I always find it difficult with penalties because it's a bit of a toss-up, isn't it? And to be honest, a lot of people saying it wasn't a great penalty. I actually thought he hit it quite well. I think he hit it with a lot of power. To be honest, I think Sutton's keeper, we're going to talk about him a bit more in a minute, I'm sure, but he had a brilliant game. Obviously, a Southend boy as well. But yeah, he had a great game. And I think, yeah, I mean, there's a few really. I think when everyone's fit and up for a penalty, I think my main choice would probably be Andrew Dallas, personally. I don't know if he's taken many penalties before, but I think if you think about who's going to hit a shot the best at goal, I think probably Dallas. But yeah, I think out of the players on the pitch, I think Harry Cardwell was probably the best choice for me. I know he missed, but in hindsight, it's a lovely thing. But
Yeah, obviously talking, keeping on topic with Harry Cardwell. Emily, we obviously probably haven't spoken since his arrival. What was your take on it? Was you surprised to see him coming back?
I was definitely buzzing. That's for sure. But I think quite often happens at this level, doesn't it? They always go for a bit more money, and then they realise actually the grass isn't always greener necessarily. And I think he realised on coming back how loved he was as a striker and how much. As a team, we just play so much better with him in it. I think he's, as Finn said, strikers work on such confidence. And I think coming back for him was a big confidence boost because he wasn't playing much at. Was it Forest Green? Wasn't it?
Forest Green,
yeah. Wasn't playing much there, and if you're not playing as a striker, you're not going to score, and that's your role. That's what you want to do. So I think coming back somewhere he knows the fans obviously enjoy watching him play. I think he was a good move for him, and I'm glad, as I said, that he's back.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think at the time, he's gone somewhere where there's, potential to get out the league, better money and stuff, and it's probably opportunities that don't come around too often as footballers, so you can't begrudge him for taking the move.
No, absolutely not. To be honest, if it was me, I would have done exactly the same thing. That's what you want to do. You want to progress up the pyramid, you want to go, don't you? And
of course.
Sometimes it takes for stuff like that to realise maybe it wasn't the best idea, but, you've got to do those things.
they've had a new manager in Bobby Savage coming in as well. Now he's obviously, he has his own players that he fancies and stuff, and obviously Cardwell wasn't in those plans quite clearly. I think Cardwell will probably, by his own admission, admit that maybe in hindsight it wasn't the right move for him ultimately. But as I say, he's back home here now. I think he feels at home at Southend. He looks comfortable and settled here. A lot of the team are still the same, really, aren't they, from when he left? So it's not much change in terms of personnel and stuff. So he can sort of slot straight back in where he left off, really. And I think with his performances, we're starting to see. I think he's the sort of striker that we've been crying out for, isn't he? A big sort of target man. Where when there are games where you need it to stick, he's the man that will hold that ball up. And I think watching him with with Kendall on Saturday, it's the first time we've seen them two sort of play together. And I was quite excited to see those two because I think Kendall's got the legs in him, and the sort of the movement with Harry holding the ball up and stuff. I felt it worked really well. What was your take on it, Finn?
Yeah, I think what I like most about those two as a pair up top, I think Kendall and Cardwell, they work really well, and I think they have an amazing work rate, both of them. And I think out of all of our strikers, they're probably the two who have the best work rate, best attacking mindset, and kind of press that defence the most. And I think one of the biggest things with having strikers like that up top is it doesn't just help you like in an attacking sense, but it also helps you in a defensive sense because they're up top winning balls off the defence, and it's quite hard. It was quite hard for Sutton to play out from the back when you've got those two hounding you down all game. So yeah, I think it helps the defence as well, just having those two up top. So yeah, I think they're a great pair.
Do you think going forward, do you think they're going to be our main two strikers partnership? Obviously, we've still got Dallas waiting to come back, which looks like he's, not too far away from now. Walker's, we keep touching, maybe more of an impact player. Tom Hopper as well. So there's plenty of choice up top now with everybody fit.
Yeah, I think they're definitely two of the three that I would say are probably in there. I think it's them two and Dallas, really. I think, obviously, Walker's great off the bench. And Hopper, to be honest, I think they're two out of the three that I'd probably say should deserve to start.
I mean, I've missed out Slavy as well.
Of course, Slavy. Sorry, three of the four.
And again, Slavy as well. So, and he's got an eye for goal. When he's been playing, he's done very, very well in his first sort of season with us. So, in the
definitely. I think we're quite blessed with strikers at the minute, I think. But those two are definitely up there. Particularly Kendall, actually. I was going to speak about him because I think, obviously, he came back in after an injury for his first start. I think what he offers up top is just so different to the others in a sense. I think he's so quick. He's got a lot of pace. Whenever he plays, we're instantly more direct and attacking. It's a bit like Leon. Whenever he's on the pitch, we're more direct, more attacking. And I think for that goal, if there's one player you could kind of pick out who really won us that goal, it'd have to be Kendall because where he was running in, the difference between a decent or an alright striker and a proper striker is most strikers, well, quite a few strikers would probably try and cut in or maybe slow it down, try and play it to somebody else. But he knew if he runs past that defender, he's either going to get wiped out and get a penalty or he's going to get past and be through on goal in front of the keeper. So he stormed past, got taken down and got the penalty. And that's, I think, what Kendall offers. He's got so much pace, a very hungry striker. I really like Kendall.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with the run to win that penalty. As you said, it was a really intelligent run, and it was a really good ball actually from Leon. He sort of played the reverse sort of ball really, and it was that Kendall. It wasn't just a straight run. He's looked along the line. He sort of run across the defender, curved his run round to keep himself onside, and as you say, he's just head down, run straight towards goal. And as you say, then defenders will tell you that they don't want to be chasing a striker and stuff. So, ultimately it makes the defender have to make a decision. As you say, does he make the challenge and, the speed and the pace of the run, the chances are it's going to be a penalty, or he's clean on goal and has a shot on target, which obviously he won the penalty. And I don't think there was any complaints around that. I mean, Emily, did you see the penalty at all?
I didn't actually see the footage of it, but just talking about like getting towards obviously the in and around the box and stuff, it's the defender's worst nightmare when you just attack and just go to goal and the best strikers and the best attackers, they just ask questions all game. And I think as soon as you put the defenders in that position, they just want to win the ball. They want the ball away from goal, don't they? So I think wiping him out, he probably thought, oh, that's all I can do. And then obviously no complaints about the penalty. But yeah, you don't, especially with the forwards who've got like Cardwell, Hopper, they just run, don't they? That's if you put the defence on kind of the back foot and you're making back pedal, then they've already got a job to do. So yeah, definitely. It's definitely good signs of more things to come, I think, from that partnership working together.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, I think it's just nice to have those options and have everybody fully fit now. This is a busy part of the season now, especially in the next few weeks, and with some games, piling up with postponements and the trophy run and things like that. These games are going to start coming thick and fast, and I think we're going to need a full fit squad to get us through it. And it's the business end of the season, isn't it? The second half of the season can really make us or break us. I think we win our home games. A bit of a cliche, we win our home games, and if we can get a draw away, we'll be there or thereabouts to really make a push for those, solidify our playoff place for sure. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I thought it was a really good performance. Colin, I don't think he really had much to do. Really, I don't think he was overly tested. It seemed quite a short game. It's not going to be one that lives long in the memory, I don't think. Obviously, Gus came back into the starting lineup. Was you surprised by that, or did you sort of expect him to come straight back in there?
I think I mean, anybody would probably expect him to come straight back in. I do think Sam Austin, I personally think he fulfilled that wing back role pretty well, considering it wasn't a position he's kind of familiar with. But yeah, I mean, Gus, you can't really keep him out. Great player, been such a great servant for us as well. But yeah, there was a few other players that I was going to mention. I'll just mention him now. But Gubbins, I'm pretty sure anybody would expect me to mention him. Yeah, a player that I do rave on about quite a lot on here, but just a player that I think's underrated. And if anybody follows like Blues news, you'll know that I used to rave about Keenan in the early days. So maybe I'm right about this one. We'll see. But yeah, I think Gubbins came in, another really solid performance, really good defensively. And some great passes up to the top as well, which work well, particularly when you have a tall striker like Caldwell. It's great to have a defender who can play straight to him, which worked really, really well. Leon was quality as well in that midfield. I mean, whenever he plays, he's such a quality player. And in terms of kind of attacking, creative players that you're excited to watch, he's probably right at the top of anyone's list for Southend. I think the only thing with him is he's probably still a bit young, probably still a bit like raw, and his decision making at times is probably not quite where you want it to be. But I think that'll just come with playing more games, getting older.
Yeah. What did you make of his fitness? Because I felt near the end of the game, I think where he gives everything, doesn't he? He's such a quick player, an attacking player. I felt against Sutton, I think just as near the end of the game, you could just see. I think he was some tired legs and stuff. He obviously played the week before as well. It was probably a bit of a heavier pitch as well with the weather and stuff. And I think near the end, just before he got subbed, I think as he went down, I think he knew his time was up because I think he was absolutely knackered. I think he just laid down, wanted to breathe and like begging, please, someone take me off now. But yeah, as you say, I think Gubbo, when he comes in, that's one position I think we're really, really fortunate in that if there is an injury or suspension across that back three, we've got real good replacement where there isn't, any uncertainty or you think, I'm not too sure. I think with Gubbins, I think for a defender, I think technically with his feet, he's a very, very good player. And he likes to drive forward a bit as well, break that line. I like watching him. I think he's a really good player. I just think it's really unfortunate at the moment that we've got three other really good defenders ahead of him. And but he's got. I think the appeal for Goodliff got rejected, didn't it? So he's out for 4 games at the moment. So Gubbins, he'll have a little run of the team, and I guess it's for him to keep that shirt now and say to Goody, you know what, you want it, you're going to have to up your game because I want to keep this one.
Absolutely.
So no, it's really exciting, really exciting.
I think with what you're saying about Leon with his fitness, it's difficult. I think you probably have 2 choices, I guess, as a manager. So you either say to him, look, tone it down a little bit and try and last the 90 minutes. Or you say, look, go all out and we'll sub you every game with 70, 74 minutes, 75 minutes, something like that. And I'm kind of swinging towards more, look, just play however you want, go at it, and when you're ready to come off, just let us know, because we have got replacements. I think we're fortunate enough to have players who could come in and kind of fill that role, like Keenan, players like that who can come in. So, yeah, I think sometimes you just get a player who just gives his complete all, but may not last the whole game. And I think that's kind of the situation we're in with Leon.
Yeah. I mean, Emily, where do you think Leon's best placed? Do you think he's best suited in the middle of the park, or do you think he's best when he's sort of attacking down the wings there and cutting in and across the touchline?
Honestly, I think it depends on the kind of team we're playing. And I think it depends on the role that he's been given. As Finn said, if he's been given the license to just run and run and run all game, again, it depends on who we're playing, because if he's been given that license to just run the midfield, then yeah, it'll get 75 minutes and we'll probably bring him off. So he works at midfield so well. But then if we're playing a team that plays a really high line, then you want him on that wing and you want him pressing and you want him pressing the fullbacks. But I think it very much does depend. I do like seeing him in midfield, I do. But I think him as a winger just edges it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him just given like the freedom, just say, you know what, play where you want, just pick the ball up, because when he's on the ball, it is a headache for defenders.
Yeah.
Because you just, for someone who's, again, he's, quite a tall player in that, but he's so quick with his feet. The ball sort of just sticks to his feet. You think he's got himself into some trouble and he'll just wiggle himself out of it. And he's got some pace on him and stuff. And I think defenders just don't really know how to manage him. And especially, as you say, when he's running at them and stuff, towards goal, he's a right handful and a real headache. But as you say, I think you've seen it sort of back in the last year, especially in the playoffs, running, getting down to that touchline, running across the box and then sort of just cutting it back. He's very, very good at that. Very good. But yeah, I think he's a really exciting player to watch. And again, still only young, so we've got to nurture him and look after him. But I think he's starting to grow into the game for sure. So yeah, obviously after the Sutton game, we was going to look ahead to Truro. Obviously, Finn, you already made your way up there to the game with your dad. I think up until Friday evening, I think there was an inspection, wasn't there? And I think the club put out a statement to say that the game was still going ahead. I think they'd been in contact with Truro as well, and the agreement was with them that keep the game going. If it's playable, we'll travel up and stuff. So I think they gave it every chance they could to get it played. And I think was it midday, I think, the pitch inspection, and eventually they called it off.
Yeah, it's difficult, really. I think that where the National League, they're kind of caught in the middle, because if you look at like the kind of higher levels, like Premier League, Championship even, obviously they have like undersoil heating and measures that in place where they can, basically, they don't ever have frozen pitches. And then if you go right down, all the way down to like National League South and below that, most of them have artificial pitches, so they don't have issues with frozen pitches. So then National League's kind of caught in the middle, where they don't quite have the budget for like undersoil heating and proper measures like that, but then they're too good to kind of have artificial pitches. So they're kind of it's kind of difficult for National League clubs and Southend in particular. So I do feel for them, and yeah, it sounded like they took all the measures that they could, but I don't know exactly what it said. Certain areas were unplayable, but I imagine it's probably that bit towards the is it the south stand? Or
I was just going to say, if I had to guess, if it ever goes sub-zero, the south stand just kills us, doesn't it? We don't ever get any sunlight, and it's just, honestly, it's like from an injury perspective, because I've obviously been out for so long, it would be my worst nightmare if I was facing a pitch like that and it was kind of neither here nor there, and they were like, should we put it on, should we not? Because I've just got alarm bells ringing overhead saying, don't play, because you're going to get injured.
Yeah, of course.
But that's it at the end of the day. Player safety is paramount, isn't it? And the game will get played. It will just be more congested schedule at the end. But you don't want a rubbish game, do you? So you'd much sooner.
No, that's right, exactly. I mean, you see what happened at Rochdale, don't you, a few weeks ago? That it was a game that should have been called off. They've tried to make it work, and actually, it just causes more problems than it solves. So, I think the biggest issue, I suppose, that people have got a bit of a gripe with, if anything, it's just the distance that Truro would have had to travel. But unfortunately, with Truro, every game for them is a journey. So, it's not the fact that it was called off last minute. They were in dialogue with them and sort of advising, how do you want this to play out? They've obviously been in agreement to, keep it going and stuff. It's just, again, it just falls with the fans, doesn't it? For those that would have made the journey, it's them that's, ultimately missing out. But it's one of those things that, I think they put the covers on, didn't they? But the weather ultimately it took a turn, and it was just deemed unplayable, and it is what it is.
I think the thing with that, Charlie, as well, is because I know quite a few Truro fans weren't happy, and obviously I completely get that. As Southend fans, we've had our fair share, even recently with Rochdale. I remember a few years ago, me of Oldham. But there's all sorts of times, but I can see why they're annoyed. But I think some of them were saying, why couldn't you do it a bit earlier? But the thing is, with Truro, so they're probably setting off for that game at probably like 6, 8 o'clock maybe in the mornings push. So they're leaving very, very early. So I don't know what our option was. Were we meant to do a pitch inspection at like 8 in the morning, which is like 7 hours before kickoff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, before any sunlights come up. Yeah, or anything.
Yeah, and even if
that's it, isn't it? You can't ever chance it because
and they're
do a pitch inspection 10 hours before you play because there's every chance it might be all right. But
exactly,
it's hard. It's neither here nor there, is it? I mean, you're always going to upset someone, but it's just unfortunate the way things are.
Even if you did it at like 10 o'clock, let's say, they're probably 4 or 3 hours into their journey at that point anyway. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference, to be honest. So I think we did what we could.
Yeah, I think just it's National League. Like you said, we're not blessed with undersoil heating or heat lamps or anything like that. We are where we are, and we've got to work with what we've got. And it's just got to be expected at this level. And I mean, to be honest, we're not the only game that had a postponement. There was plenty of other games up and down the country. So it'd be a bit different if we were the only game and had a handful of injuries and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, it is what it is. I mean, was it a couple of years ago, I think, was it Wildstone? We had about 3 postponements from them. It was a game that I just thought would never happen. And that. And then I think when we did finally play them, I think we lost or something. It was just a nightmare, which is typical Wildstone, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, though, Charlie, that one was a joke. I know I said that our one was not really in our control. That one was in Wildstone's control, and I stand by that. Particularly the one where I was in a pizza restaurant and I found out, was it half an hour before the game or something that it was called off?
Well, I was walking into the stadium. I literally walked in. I parked my car up. I walked past the team bus, walked into the ground, and game's off. You're joking.
No.
It was ludicrous.
It was shocking. It felt like a bit of a fever dream because I was in a pizza restaurant having a pizza, and then I found out the game was off, and then about 5 minutes later I just see Justin Rees walking by himself. So I ran out of the restaurant to say hello. I was like, it was just the weirdest kind of moment. But that one was ridiculous because they knew it was going to be bad all day, and their pitch had been a joke all season. So that one should have been called off way earlier. But our one, I stand by. I think we were all right.
No, I think we were right to do it. There was no sort of other choice, I don't think. So we'll have to keep an eye out for the rearranged fixture. But obviously it is what it is, and we'll look on to the next week. So that's half time. Coming up in the second half, we're going to catch up with Emily to discuss the ladies' team as they take on Toby this weekend at home. We'll also have a roundup of the youth team, and we've also got Finn's New Year quiz.
This is the half-time show in memory of John Gurrell. It's the Southend Ladies with Emily and Katie.
So we've obviously only got Emily today. Katie is away working, I think, tonight, so she's not with us. So we've got Emily to fill in with the ladies. So Emily, obviously there's not been any games the last few weeks for the ladies team, but obviously we're back in action on Sunday at home to Toby. Is that correct?
Yeah, so back in action, first game of the new year. Good opportunity for us to, I think, start the year as we need to go on against Toby. Kind of got a bit of a long-standing rivalry with Toby. The first bit of silverware we got as a club was against Toby in the final. So from their perspective, there's always reason to come and give us a good game. But I expect this good opportunity for us to start the year off with 3 points, see what everyone's kind of feeling like, fitness levels coming into the new year. I think it's a good opportunity, and you just want to play as soon as Obviously, Christmas is over and out of the way. You want to play. So yeah, be a good one. Looking forward to it.
Excellent. Where are Toby in the league?
To be honest, I think they're very similar to where we are. We've probably underachieved a little bit this season to where we wanted to. And I think if this season for us is just a case of, solidify our position in the league, see the season out and then restart and go again next year. But yeah, it's a good opportunity, as I said, to get 3 points. It'd be good to obviously see the girls back in action again. We've got some of our wingers like Sophie have really started to come into their own. Had a good kind of run a game scoring. It'd be good to obviously have G and Ellie back working together. But yeah, it'll be nice and it'll be a good game. Hopefully a nice competitive one. As I said, they've always got reason to kind of come at us. So yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the squad actually because I think for the Christmas period, obviously, you girls, you've got jobs and other things and stuff going on for seeing family over the Christmas period that I think sometimes throughout the season you haven't probably had a regular starting 11. How, with the new season starting now, is that looking like it's more, it's going to be a bit more of a solid 11 each week? I
hope so, but as we've kind of been a bit thin on the ground this year, and we were last year because we were hit with so many injuries and obviously different commitments kind of really, really prohibited us from having a kind of consistent run of games with the squad. Hopefully towards the end of the season we can start seeing a little bit more, I wouldn't say more numbers as such, but we can have a little bit more of a consistent run with who's in the starting 11, who's a good impactful sub off the bench. I think this season for us this summer will be a good opportunity to recruit and get a bit more squad depth so that we can try things and obviously do what we need to do to try and progress up the leagues and kind of have covering positions where things like injuries do happen, get long-term season ones, then puts us in a bit more of a comfortable position. But yeah, I think there's definitely some players that are making a name for themselves to push into starting 11. Yeah. But yeah, I think going forward to next year need a bit more squad depth to make it competitive.
Yeah, and obviously it's well documented. We've got new coach and new manager in place now, first full-time manager for the ladies team, so it takes a bit of time for them to get their ideas across and get going. Definitely. And stuff, but looking at results and performances, certainly I think you've been unfortunate with a couple of the results, but it definitely appears that things are moving in the right direction, and it looks like it's a positive outlook ahead. Obviously this season now, this sort of side of Christmas, you can now sort of kind of start, put last year behind you and then sort of start and push on this season and have a good second half to the season and, get as high up as you possibly can. Yeah,
definitely. I think they've come in and they've made a really strong start. They've done everything they can. Obviously coming in mid-season is so tough because you've kind of got to get to know the squad as well as try and implement the way you want to play and get the job done, stay in the league. I can imagine it's been a real tough job for them to kind of come in and kind of make themselves known, but I think they've come in and done a great job. They're really good with the girls. I really like them. I think the changing room's good. Kind of got this new feel of kind of belief again. Obviously, when we've had where we've had a managerial change, I think it's kind of come in and sometimes you need a shuffle around and kind of kicks people into gear a bit to prove themselves. And I like the start they've made, and it's positive. I like the direction we're going in. I like their ideas. They all know their football. So yeah, it'll be good. Positive. Yeah.
And just on a personal note for yourself, how's your recovery coming along? How are you getting? I noticed that you was in the gym and things are starting to ramp up a little bit more.
I'm more kind of a bit more plyometric based now. I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks I'll be back to kind of moving the ball just statically, passing and stuff. So it does play up when it's cold. So hopefully right once this cold patch goes, we'll be good. But getting there positive. I'm hoping I'm through the worst of it now. So it's all kind of downhill from here, and we've got kind of an easy ride going back into the season. Yeah.
Oh, fingers crossed. We'll see you on the pitch soon. So you said this Sunday you're at home to Toby. Is that at Garens? Is it?
Yeah, Garens. 2:00 kickoff.
2:00 kickoff, excellent. So anyone who's around on Sunday that's at Loose End and wants to go down and support the girls, I'm sure they'll be more than grateful to have your support down there and see if we can kickstart the season with a win. So that's at home to Toby on Sunday, at 2:00 kickoff. So next up, we'll talk about the youth team. So I think it's well documented with how well the under-19s are doing. I was fortunate enough to go down there just before Christmas for their FA Cup game against Swindon, and it was a hell of a game. If you didn't go to see it, it really was. I mean, I think there's some highlights on the official Southend channels and stuff. Get yourself, have a watch of it because they play some very, very good football. Danny Heath and the team down there have got them playing really, really well. And I was chatting with him, and they weren't out of place against the Swindon side that are doing very well themselves. So they've got a game actually this week on Wednesday. They're back in action. They're away to Boreham Wood. The under-19s are the only ones. Under-17s haven't got a game at the moment this week. But the youth team, they're sitting top of their league. I think they've still got a couple of games in hand as well. So they're looking really, really strong. I was chatting to Danny, quite a few of the boys, they've gone out on loan. I think Basildon's just signed another young lad from them. So that will only do them the world of good playing men's football. And I think it's just been noted that their FA Cup game at home, to Wrexham is on the 22nd of January. Again, that'll be at Roots Hall. So I think at Roots Hall, for the Swindon game, we had close to 700. So if we can push to get 1,000 in there, that really will. And I mean, the 700 made a hell of a racket. And I think, the boys, you could tell, were really pumped. And, it was a brilliant, brilliant atmosphere at the end with the win. So if we can get as many down there on the 22nd to support the boys, I think tickets are only about £5 or so. So if you're around, get yourself down there. I don't know what time the kickoff is. I think it might be a 7:45 kickoff. I need to confirm that. But Finn, have you seen any of the youth team or anything at all yet this season?
Yeah, obviously I've been keeping up with all the results and stuff. I haven't actually been able to get to any games yet. Obviously it's a bit of a distance for me, so it's kind of difficult sometimes. But I'm going to try and get some soon. But yeah, I mean it's brilliant, and I think it's so important. And for a team at our level to have such a good youth academy, I think it's quality. And to be at this stage in the FA Youth Cup, it's a massive, massive thing. So brilliant. I think there's quite a few players in there that you look at and think, they're quality. So very, very exciting and impressive for our level. And it's credit to obviously Danny Heath and all of the coaching staff there for the work they're doing there. It's brilliant.
Yeah. I was chatting to Danny just ahead of the Sutton game. And he was saying, I think they're actually looking at streaming the game live as well. So anyone who can't get down to it, fingers crossed that'll be streamed live to watch anyway, which will be great. But he said the boys fear nothing at the moment. He said they're in that dressing room at the end of the game, like, right, 5th round, we can do it. Like, just bring them on. I was chatting to him because I wasn't really too sure in terms of the setup with our youth team compared to those in the AFL and stuff. I didn't know if our boys were full-time, part-time. And he said, actually, they're all full-time scholars and stuff. The only difference is that they don't get paid because we're out of the AFL and stuff. So he said, but in terms of where they're at in their progression, it's no different to those in the EFL, the likes of Swindon and Wrexham. So, and you can see that some of the boys, like Josh Barrett in goal, we got from Leyton Orient, what a player he is. If you haven't got to see him yet, he's a hell of a goalkeeper, one to really keep an eye out on. And I mean, that's something we always seem to be doing quite well with, is bringing through young goalkeepers here, and he's no exception. And funny enough, actually, we didn't say it in the Sutton game, but we had, is it Sims in goal for Sutton? Yep. And obviously he came through the youth team, so the youth set up. And so it's no surprise how well he did as well in that game. So, if you get a chance to go and see them, pop down. You won't be disappointed. There's some real promising news coming through. Right. Next up, we have Finn's quiz. So I'll hand it over to you, Finn.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I spoke to Charlie before the podcast and I said, it's our first podcast of the year. Why not? Let's do a little 2025 quiz. So I've got seven questions, but some will be very easy. Some are more of a shot in the dark. I've kind of done sort of quizzes on here before, little ones, but so we'll get straight into it. So the first one's hopefully are quite easy, and it'll get a little bit harder at the end. So, starting off, Emily and Charlie. So, who scored the most goals for Southend United in 2025?
In the whole of 2025, yeah?
Yeah.
Is this in all comps?
So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is in all competitions because I did this a few days ago. So for anybody who doesn't know, which I don't know why you would, but I'm currently putting together a post which is basically like a Spotify Wrapped for Southend. So I was a bit ambitious. I thought I could get it out before the end of the year, but I didn't realise how much work and how much stats I've had to find because they're not very well documented anywhere. So yeah, so who scored the most goals in 2025? And I believe this is all competitions, and I've got the number of goals that this player scored too. So
I'd guess GSN, but I don't know.
That's my go-to.
Yep.
Would be this. Yeah, it would have to
Yeah,
be.
How many goals?
do you want to have a guess?
I'm gonna
52.
I'll go 17.
12.
I was going to go.
I think it might
was
be league games, but yeah, that might be league games, that one. But yeah, 12 goals in 2025. Gus Scott Morris. Who made the most league starts?
I'm going with Harry Taylor.
Yeah, so a clue is he only missed one game. That's the clue.
Oh, yeah, it's probably then.
Going with Harry Taylor. Harry
yeah,
Taylor.
yeah.
And he had 47 league starts, which he literally only missed one all season, which is fantastic. So who had the most clean sheets, Colin or Hayes, across 2025? Ooh. This one's quite a difficult one, actually, and it's closer than I thought it'd be, to be honest.
I mean, I would actually say
I would go with Hayes.
Colin.
Oh,
there you go. We've got split.
Okay, so the answer is Colin with 11. But to be honest, when I was doing, when I was researching and finding out, I thought they'd have quite a lot more than Hayes. But then I forgot towards the end of last season, Hayes kept loads of clean sheets. So it's actually Colin had 11 and Hayes had 8. So he's only 3 behind.
You've also got to take into consideration the amount of games each of them played.
Yes,
so that would make sense.
Yeah, of course.
We only kept 19 clean sheets in 2025.
19 clean sheets.
19 clean sheets.
Which is, not too bad, really.
Finn, just quickly, before you move on to the next one, we've got our first problem. My laptop's about to die. Let me quickly get my charger, otherwise this could end very shortly.
No worries at all. We'll wait. All good. Yeah, so I hope the next one's... I think they're going to get a bit harder, actually. Quite a bit harder.
So what's the maths on that, then? How many games do you reckon we played in the whole of 2025?
So I'm pretty sure that's just league games again.
Right.
So 19, and then we had 48 league games. So
Jesus.
19.
So what percentage is that?
I can find out.
We're back.
Testing your maths.
There
what
we go.
percentage? There you go. There's a question for you. What percentage of?
Roughly 40%. Oh, sorry.
Oh, there you
I
go.
think it's roughly 40.
What was it? What was the question?
Oh no, I just kind of said what percentage then if we kept 19 clean sheets across the whole of the year. What percentage did we?
48 league games.
40% sounds better than 19.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So yeah, question 4. It's going to get a little bit harder now, but that's all the fun of it. It's fun for me, maybe not fun for you. But so question 4: what were our top 3 home attendances? I won't ask for the numbers. I'll just ask for the games. The games we had on. Yes, who we played.
I'd rather guess the numbers.
Okay, I've got one.
I've got the exact numbers. Yep.
Charlton will be.
Yep, Charlton is number 3. That was number 3, and to give you a clue, it's 8,875. So the 2 above that.
Is this still league games? Say that all league games.
This is all competitions. This one.
So it's 2 higher than the Charlton game.
Yeah. So Charlton.
I reckon it's got to be a cup game.
Oh, York, first game of the season. Was it York we had first game of the season?
York was. It's not in the top 3, but it is in the top 6. I can't remember exactly where it is in the top 6.
Who did we have opening game? Was it York?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was. Just finding out now. That one was 6th on the list, actually.
Was it?
Wow.
What was our last home game of 2025?
So a little clue for I'll give you a little clue for the top 2.
Yeah.
They were both last season, so 2024-25 season, and they were both towards the end.
I was going to say it would have been towards the end. We were pushing playoffs, so it would have been.
On that last little run, yeah.
I
we had
can't
near the
picture.
back end
Yeah, I
of
can't
last
picture
season.
it.
So one of them was the last game of the season, if anyone remembers who we played.
Yeah, I can't. Who the hell did we have?
Can I have the first letter?
Or what,
Yes.
what part of the country are they in?
They're both in the south. Good question. They're both in the southern half.
No, I still need a letter. Give me a letter.
I think the letters might give it away a
Aldershot?
bit. That's another
Aldershot?
clue. Not Aldershot, no. If anybody at home can get these, put them in the comment.
Good question.
Maidstone?
No.
Who did we have last game?
They are both like pretty small teams. To be honest, they're not very big teams.
Beats me.
Oh, this is really going to get.
Maybe if I
I can't believe Charlton was third. I thought that would have been
I
higher.
tell you
Yeah,
what I do.
same, yeah.
I reckon if I give you the scoreline of each game and who scored, that might refresh your brain a bit.
Go on and try it.
Probably not.
I'll give it a go.
Give me the first letter and I'll get it. I promise.
Well, the first letter of one of them would definitely give it away.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on. We'll go 2 for 3 then.
Okay, so the last game of the season, it was 3-0. Ben Goodliff, Charlie Kendall, and Macaulay Bond scored.
Yeah, that doesn't help me.
Okay, I'll give you the first letters of each. The last game was W, and the other game was B.
Wellstone.
Wildstone, yes, that was the last
Boston,
game of
then.
the season. That was
And
that was
Boston.
top with 9,677.
did you say B?
Yep, yeah.
So
So
Boston.
B, is the other one.
Boston.
Not Boston. No,
Oh,
no.
B.
This one, I think this one was 0-0, if I remember. Pretty sure it was a 0-0.
Braintree.
Braintree, yes.
Yeah, of course it will be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Are they
so first,
all league games? All league games.
yes. Except from Charlton in third. So
Oh,
it was
yes.
Wildstone first,
Yeah.
9,677. Second was Braintree, 9,614. And third was Charlton, 8,875. So some good attendance.
numbers.
Very, very good
Yeah.
numbers.
And it's carried on into this season as well, hasn't
Yeah,
it? Which
some
is-
brilliant,
it's not
brilliant
surprising,
numbers.
really, is it?
No, definitely. I think towards the end of the season we could even have a game tip 10,000 if it keeps
Yeah,
going like this.
yeah.
So we'll see. That'd be great. Number 5, question 5. This one's a difficult one, a bit of a shot in the dark, but you can have a go. And I will give you some leniency, so don't panic too much. So how many miles did we travel in 2025? And this is from Roots Hall to the stadium and back. So
Does this
for each game.
does this include Wembley?
This does include Wembley. Yes, every game.
Choice.
No. Okay, actually, I can. Yeah, you know
Can
what?
you give us a ballpark figure?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a guess before I give you
No,
one?
yeah, come on, let's just throw a guess out. I think
I
that'd
don't
be
want to
more
embarrass
entertaining.
myself.
So I think
so-
this includes cup games. It doesn't include friendlies though. So
Right. I'm going to say
no.
we've travelled. Oh my god.
5k miles.
How many did you say?
5k.
5,000. I'm thinking.
what are you thinking?
Wembley's
John?
100 each way, surely.
A different one.
Yeah, and
it's a
we've played
different
like Gateshead up north, and I'm going to say about 9,800. That could be
Okay.
wildly out.
Give us
So
a
I'll
range.
give you
We need a
some multiple
range.
choice then. See
Go
if you
on
want to change mine. So I will give you 6,700, 7,700, or 8,800. 8,700. Sorry.
I'll go 6.
I'm going to go 8,700.
It's in the middle of both of you. It was roughly 7,700. I think it was like, but obviously it kind of varies with different routes
Yeah,
and stuff. But yeah,
approximately,
roughly 7,700. So
Oh, we weren't
quite
a
lot.
million miles away. Only like 2,000.
No, actually very good guesses. Because to be honest, I probably would have got that way off.
Yeah, I was waiting
don't
for someone
know.
to say like 20-odd thousand or something.
Yeah, exactly that. That's yeah, you did very, very well with that one. So sixth question then. I think this one maybe it's a bit easier, but we'll see. Easier than that one at least, maybe. What were our top 3 biggest away wins by scoreline? So I'll give you a clue. So the first one, I'll say the second and the third one were the same scoreline, and then the first one was a different scoreline.
We had a couple of 4-0s, didn't we?
So I was going to say a 3-0.
Okay. Would you like me to give you? So the first one was a 4-0 away win. The second one and the third one were both 3-0 away wins.
So was one against Gateshead, 3-0?
Yes.
3-0
Yeah.
Yes.
against
First game
Gateshead?
this season.
First season, yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
And I think the
Yep.
4-0 come quite soon after.
So I'll give you another clue. The third one was also this season, and the first one, the biggest one of the season, was the season before, 24-25.
I can see it. I can picture it.
That wasn't against Oldham, was it?
Nope. I think that might have been
Couple of years
season
before.
4, maybe. Yeah.
Season.
I know.
So the 4-0, which is the top one, that was last season, and the 3-0 was this season.
And who scored the goal?
Wasn't Truro, was it?
No.
That was 1-0.
No. Yeah. See,
Can you
that
say
was
the goal
4-0.
scorers?
I can find that out for you. Yep.
I'm rubbish at things like this.
Yeah. Probably the worst people to do it.
So in the 4-0 one, the goal scorers were Charlie Kendall, Ollie Coker, Macaulay Bonn, and Josh Walker.
It wasn't Dagenham, was it?
No. They're actually not in the league now.
I was going to say that.
Aldershot.
No.
No, Aldershot in our league still, isn't they?
Yeah. Nope. They're now in the National League South.
Maidstone.
No.
Maidenhead.
No, you're quite close with Maidstone, actually, in kind of location.
Proximity. Location.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's quite near me.
I'm trying to think. Ebbsfleet.
Yes, that was number one.
Yes.
That was our biggest
Love
one. And the last one, the 3-0 one, the other 3-0 one, they are a club that they went through quite a few issues, let's say.
York.
Nope.
Are they still in our
Financial
league?
issues.
This team this was this season, so yeah, still in our league.
Oh, again, I can picture it.
They've actually got the same nickname as us, if that
Morecambe.
helps.
Morecambe.
Yes,
Yeah,
Morecambe.
yeah.
That was a 3-0 win against Morecambe. So yeah, that was our top 3 biggest away wins of the season. I've got the other because I did the top 5. So the others are a 2-0 against Dagenham, which I think was last season, and then the other one there was loads of one goal wins, but I just went with the 3-4 against Rochdale because why not? So that was that one. And then the last question. You've done very, very well. Total number of goals scored across the season and across the year. Sorry, don't worry. I'll give you 10 either side.
Is this including cup games? Yeah,
All comps.
All competitions. Yeah, it doesn't include friendlies, but yeah, it's all competitions. This one's difficult because you could be quite a way off, or you could get it bang on. We'll see. If you get it bang on, then that'll be very, very impressive.
68.
Oh, it's not actually. It's not actually miles off.
I'm going in the 70s. I'm going to go 74.
Oh,
Could be less.
well, you're both very close, but it's a little bit more. Maybe you need to be more optimistic. Back the Blue Boys a bit more. This year we scored 84 goals.
Did we?
I was
Yes,
miles off it with 68.
that's not too bad. I mean, I would have probably
I'll
gone
take
for
that.
like a few hundred or something. So
That's
yeah,
not too
no,
bad.
not bad at all. Not bad at all. But I guess there was one more, which I'll just throw out there for a bit of fun for the last one. How many signings did we make this year? Total number of signings, and it's not actually as many as I thought it'd be.
No.
Does this include loan deals?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to figure it out, but
Same, because there's kind of 2 seasons, isn't there? Like
yeah, there was a period where we had like a couple of goalkeepers, didn't we, for like the odd game and stuff. I'm guessing.
So I'll give
I'm
you a
gonna
clue.
s-
I think
oh,
that
go
was
on.
2024 when
Was
those
it? Right,
happened.
okay.
So they're not in this list. So
I was going to say 8, but I don't even think it's as
I'm
high
gonna-
as that.
See, I was going to say 12.
you know what? Another interesting kind of a little clue for you is that all of these players are actually still with us now.
Yeah. Oh, they're
So-
still with us.
Yeah, none of these have actually left from this list that I've got, which I'm pretty sure is right. I've checked it quite a few times. So.
Maybe it's less than 8.
So
then.
was Bim Peppel not?
No, because I think he signed in 2024, the year before, I think, which I had this issue because I kept mixing up my dates and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, what? But yeah,
Oh, so
he
he's
was
one
the
I'm
year before.
certain with.
So I agree with you. I thought he would have been in there,
Yeah.
but he is not included. In
I'm
this
going to
list.
go with 7.
I said 12, but yeah, I could be way out of it.
It's kind of like in the middle of both of you, actually. It's 9. So there's Tom Hopper, Leon Parallon, Nick Hayes. Nick Hayes is surprised. I honestly thought he was 2024, but he was like February 2025, I think. Slavy Spazov, Sam Austin, Harry Boys, Ben Goodliff, Andrew Dallas, and Harry Caldwell. So there you go.
Oh.
That wraps up the quiz.
There you
There you
go.
go. You
There
did
you
very
go.
well. That was
Yeah.
quite difficult towards the end,
I
but
don't
yeah.
think we disgraced ourselves, did
No,
we?
we
No,
I
was
think
definitely
alright.
not. Definitely
we
not.
can,
No,
we can
I
leave the
think
house.
it
We'll
was-
be all right.
That's difficult. Yeah, I thought some of those definitely might stump you, particularly like the miles travelled. I thought that might be way off, but
Way
yeah,
off, yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Well
No, very good, Finn. I mean, did you say you've got one coming out on your channel, on your...
Yeah, so
So
I've
keep
got
an eye out.
kind of like
Obviously
an
not the same
extended version of
questions.
that. Yeah, I've got like an extended version of that. It's going to be, if anybody's familiar with like Spotify Wrapped, that sort of thing. It's going to be kind of like that, but for Southend, and there's going to be a few other bits and bobs in there. I've been working on it for a few days now, so yeah, there you go.
Oh, fantastic. No, really good. And if anyone's listening, let us know how you get on. Obviously, don't cheat. Don't go on Google and listen back. Try and be honest with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really good. Yeah, well done, Phil. Cheers for that. Right, so just to round things off now then. So we've got Bath City away in the FA Trophy coming up this Saturday. Are either of you guys going to that game? I'm unfortunately not able to go myself.
I'm not sure I am. Me and my dad went through the fixtures, and I'm pretty sure we decided not to go to that one.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a journey, isn't it? But yeah, I'm sure we'll travel well as per normal up there. I mean, do you guys know much about Bath City? Have you seen them at all or read about them at all, either of you?
I don't think they're doing too well, to be honest, this season. Yeah, they're 19th out of 24 teams in National League South, so
Yeah.
not great. Just trying to see if they've got any big goal scorers. Their top goal scorer has 5 goals. He's joined with another player with 5 goals, Owen Windsor and William Jenkins Davies. It looks like their goals kind of come from quite a few different players as opposed to just one. So they've got 2 players on 5, 1 player on 4, 1 player on 3. So yeah, it kind of looks like they're kind of spread, but it does actually look like they score quite a few. So, but yeah. I don't know too much about Bath City, to be honest.
No, I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't know a huge amount about them either, with any players to keep an eye out. I mean, the biggest question, I guess, will be what will our lineup, what we'll look at setting up like. Obviously, we mentioned earlier on about the squad rotation and the youth. The trophy is one of the sort of competitions where we can afford to get some time into players that are on the fringes and need some time. So, do you foresee some changes amongst what we saw against Sutton? Personally, I think we'll see a couple of changes. I think we'll see Bridgie. He typically tends to start those games. I'd imagine Slavy may well start as well, and even Dallas maybe, if he's coming back from his injury and needs some minutes, he may well make an appearance. I don't know what your thoughts, Emily. What do you see happening?
I think it's a good opportunity for us to have a good run. I think we want to start strong, obviously suss them out, because we don't have the luxury of playing obviously every team every week, but suss them out, go strong in the first half. You can never underestimate these teams in cup games, you just never know. So see what's going to happen, and then if we go in comfortable at the break, then start rotating. If not, then obviously we want to win ultimately at the end of the day, and we want to get, I think it's a good opportunity for a good run in a competition like this. So So yeah, I think start strong, see what they're about, and then kind of move from there.
Yeah, I think Kev's alluded to that it's a competition he's taken very seriously. It gives us an opportunity. It's another day out at Wembley. I think even Justin, when he was on last week, he alluded to it that potentially it could, potentially if playoffs go well as well, it could be 2 trips to Wembley. So it's a competition I think that we can go quite far in, and I think we should look at progressing as far as we can in it. So we've got the players that we can rotate the squad a bit, and we've got the quality to. I think Bath. They're not really going to cause us too much of a problem, I don't think. Finn, do you think it's a competition that we should be focusing on, or do you think we should purely just put all our eggs into the league and look at focusing on that?
Yeah, there's probably an argument for both, really. I guess it's very important in the league this season for us that we get it right, because I think a lot of players are out of contract at the end of the season. So, yeah, if we don't go up, I hate to say it, but players like Gus, I think Harry Taylor might be. There's quite a few players who are kind of out of contract. So it is important. But I think ultimately, as a fan, you want to see your club do well in cups and have a cup run. And I think it's a great opportunity for us. As you said, we've got the squad to kind of rotate it and whatnot. And I think, yeah, if you can get to Wembley again and give us another one of those days, like we had last season, hopefully a win this time as well. Yeah, why not? And I think it's also a really big money spinner for the club as well. Getting there could give us that little extra push that we need to get promoted. So yeah, I think it's really, really important. And I think I back us to have a nice little run in it.
Yeah, I do. I think season's gone by. I think this is you've seen other teams that have taken it seriously. I think the likes of Wrexham and that, and you can see and as you've touched on, it's the financial implications it can have for us are massive. We can any sort of funds coming in is greatly appreciated. So the deeper we can get into the competition, I'm all for it. So looking forward to the Bath game. Obviously, I'll be watching it online or listening to it online, should I say? And I'm sure that we'll come out, winners ultimately. Should we get a score prediction? I think Emily unfortunately has had to leave, so it's just me and you now. So just a couple of us for predictions. So
I think also before I give a score prediction, one thing I want to say on the game is one player I didn't speak about who I would like to see play against Bath and get some minutes after his injury is Keenan. He came back for kind of his first few minutes since the injury against Sutton off the bench, and he didn't play very long off the bench, but you could almost make an argument for him being man of the match. He was that good off the bench. That's one of the best performances off the bench I've seen in a while, I think, because he just came on and so much energy everywhere, literally every
ball. He's a nuisance, isn't he? He shuts down everything. He's just a bag of energy that just, he's got a real engine on him when he's fit and firing. And
the brilliant thing about him as well is he doesn't have a lot of height, but to be honest, it's not a weakness of his.
No, not at all.
Because I feel like some players, maybe they're a bit shorter and it can be a bit of a weakness. But for him, he can jump so high anyway, so he can jump higher than most players that can. So he wins a lot of headers. But he's so strong, and that's the thing with him. He's so strong, so he just bullies people off the ball, even though he's maybe half their height. He's a fantastic player and so good off the bench. Hopefully he gets a proper start to prove himself again after his injury and his time out. So it's a difficult one to predict, I think. But I think about players like Bridge. It'd be good to see Bridge back in there as well. I think he's maybe a little bit unlucky to not have had a start in the league in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whenever he plays, maybe he's been off it for maybe a year or two, something like that. But recently, he's been quality for quite a few weeks now in that left wing back role. So, I'd like to see him start. And hopefully a good chance for Leon to kind of have the freedom to just run right as well. So Spazov as well. There's so many players you can think about.
Exactly. Yeah, there is. Yeah, you're right. It's a real headache.
Right up for it. So I'm going to go with the 3. I was going to say 3-1, but I don't really want to predict us to concede. So I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
Nice 3-0 win. I'm going to go with goals from Coker, Josh Walker, and Spazov.
Yeah.
Why not? Go for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up there with a 4-0 win. I think I think we'll get firing. Who will score? God blimey. You just don't know the lineup, do you? But I'd fancy Slavy to be starting, so I reckon I'm going to have a couple for Slavy. If Bridgie's playing, I'll go Bridgie, and another one for Gus. He seems to be on a purple patch at the minute, doesn't he? So
why not?
Yeah, they're my four.
We're going to look silly when this is Sittingbourne 2.
We've been knocked out or something.
All over again.
Or postponed, but no, fingers crossed it'll all go ahead.
Hopefully,
so that is everything for today's show. Next week we will have that reaction from the game against Bath. Fingers crossed it does go well and it go ahead and not succumb to the weather and the conditions. We'll also have updates from Emily in regards to the ladies team. We'll also get reaction from the youth team as well. And we'll also have Harry Taylor on teammates. So all that's left for me to say is to say thank you to Finn and Emily. And I think we're still going live, so if things are working well. And a massive, massive thank you to our sponsor, Surgical Holding. And for those listening, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like. For the rest of you, have a good evening.